Well, welcome everybody to another episode of Your Spiritual Journey. This is Dr. Bob Dove, and we're about to take you on an adventure into a new world. It's just great to have you with us, and our special guest today is Singh Ajmani. And Singh is someone who I've known for, maybe 5-6 years, on and off, as a fellow Rotarian. He's not in the same club that I am, so I don't see him frequently, but at least a couple times a year. He's got a pretty interesting story, and I'm not going to say anything more because his story is his story, and as you know, this is your spiritual journey. So I'm going to turn the mic over to Singh, and then toward the end, I'll ask some questions if it seems like some things need clarified. So take it away, Singh.
Bob, thank you very much. And Sat Sri Akal to you.
Okay.
That is our way of greeting, that God is great. And thank you for the invitation. I really appreciate that. And when we talk about spiritual journey, my spiritual journey started right from birth. I was born in Sikh family. Sikh means student. And when there is a student, there is a teacher. So our teacher is Vahe Guru.
Oh,
Vahe.
let me stop you right there. Could you
Yes.
spell that for me?
Wahe.
Okay.
Second word is Guru, Guru.
Okay.
So Guru, you are very familiar.
Yes.
Guru means teacher.
Uh-huh.
Vahe, take that as like wow, same expression. Wow, wonderful, all-knowing, all-pervasive Guru. So our creator of all, creator of everything, is our Guru. So we learn from the nature, we learn from the word, that is our Guru. Total embodiment of knowledge. So, Ek Omkar is the key word in our religion.
Ekankar?
Ek Omkar. Ek means one.
Okay.
Omkar is the creator, one who created everything. So we can call it creator, God, Guru, who knows it all. So our founder, Guru Nanak, when he got his own knowledge, if you will, revelation, that was to the one creator. He announced that there is one creator. And then with how he defined is by his virtues.
Okay, can you just give us a context, maybe how many years ago this was, how long ago
Sure.
this happened?
That was in 1400s.
Okay.
And I will come to that as well as exact
Okay.
year. I should have remembered, but I don't remember.
Okay.
But I'll come to that.
That's okay. Just wanted to get some context
Yes,
for the
1400,
audience as to when this
1400.
took place. Okay.
So when he revealed his belief that there is one creator for everything that we see or cannot see, anything that we can hear or not hear, we can comprehend or not comprehend, there is only one creator. When he revealed that, then he came up with some qualities to define. And that definition in Sikh religion is called Mool Mantar. Mool is root. That's Punjabi word, so you don't need to remember it. But Mool Mantar is Ek Onkar Satnam. I'll define all that, so you don't need to write it.
Okay.
Ek Onkar Satnam Karta Purukh Nirbhav Nirvair Akal Murat, Ajuni, Sabhang, Gur Prasad. Those are the virtues by which Guru Nanak Dev Ji defined the Creator, the Ek Onkar. So what he's saying is that Ek Onkar means one Creator who created all that exists, whether we can see or not see, comprehend or not comprehend. Satnam means He is the Supreme Truth.
Okay.
Karta Purukh means He is the Creator and resides in the creation. He didn't create and walk away. He is present in everything that is created by Him. He is personified by His creation. Nirbhav means that He has fear of nothing because He created it all. Nirvair means He created everything, there is no enemy. So they are all His own. Akal Murat means He is not time bound. He was, He is, and He will continue to be. He is perpetual. Ajuni meaning He is omnipresent. Sabhang, He created Himself. He is not created by anything else. Gur Prasad, and this knowledge is realized by His grace. That is His definition. This is briefly what is Mool Mantra. Now, based on the Mool Mantra, there are some doctrines for a Sikh to follow. 3 doctrines are Naam Japna, Kirt Kamai, Vand Chakna. These are 3 Punjabi words, and I'll explain that.
So these are Punjabi.
Punjabi,
Okay.
yes. The state of Punjab, Guru Nanak Dev Ji was born in state of Punjab. He was born in a Hindu family in 1469. And his at that time there was Muslim rule and Hindu majority, of course, in Punjab. So when he saw the differences, he got moved by it, and he said, there is one Creator. Why are we looking at things differently and at each other's throat? So that all consummated in his thinking and realization of Ek Onkar. So the 3 doctrines are Naam Japna, Kirt Kamai, and Vand Chakna. Naam Japna meaning internalizing that there is one God. Praying to God and internalizing there is one God. Unwavering belief that there is one Creator. Now, Kirt Kamai is working to make a living, to take care of you and your family. If there is unwavering belief that there is one Creator who created the creation and I'm part of the creation, then when I'm making a living, when I'm doing a Kirt Kamai, in doing so, I will not hurt or damage the creation. Because I'm also the steward of the creation. So I will not be hurting anybody or anything. The water, the air, the earth. Yeah. It is all part of the creation. And I'm just also creation. So I'm not going to be hurting. So the doctrine is that in making your living, you will not hurt anybody or the creation or anything on earth. That is Kirt Kamai. And Vand Chakna means when you do your creation and you get some fruit out of it for your own survival, you shall share it with those who need it. Because there is one Creator, so there is a kinship. Mm-hmm. So if a Sikh gives something to somebody or helps somebody, it is not a charity. It is sharing the gift of God.
Well, it sounds like it's an obligation almost.
It's way of life. I wouldn't even call it an obligation.
Okay.
It is a way of life. When you are doing an obligation, then somebody is thankful to you. I'm not doing any obligation.
Okay.
I'm doing my part. That's what I'm supposed to do.
It reminds me of the Jewish concept of mitzvah. And I don't know if you're familiar with that,
No, I'm
but
not.
it is actually the same thing, that you're doing things for other people because you're human and they're human, and it's not an obligation. It's not anything you expect a return for. It's just the way you're supposed to live.
So that is at the core of it.
Uh-huh.
And it comes from the total belief in Ek Onkar, that is, there is one creator. So now as we go from here and say Sikh is a way of life, so the hierarchy of authority in our Sikh leadership, in our structure, is that we listen and pay attention to and follow only the words inscribed in our holy book, Guru Granth Sahib.
Okay.
Granth, Granth. Granth means book. Guru Granth Sahib, that means word of the Guru. Guru, that means the creator. So we have preachers, we have translators, we have singers, but they are only the communicators. They are not the words. They are just the translators.
Okay.
We do recite our holy book. So there may be some people who cannot read and some people who can read and recite. They are not the creator of the word, if you will.
Right.
That's how we see them. We see them as translators or singers. To take care of gurudwaras, the building, there are committees. So they are sevadars. They are the servants. Mm-hmm. So there is no, in our hierarchy, there is nobody that is the boss, if you will. It is the holy book that is the boss and everybody else is the servant. Sikh discipline rejects caste system and stresses on equality of men and women.
Okay. I'm just thinking of culturally living in India.
Yeah.
Where there is a caste system.
Yes.
And you have a whole group of people in Punjab and I assume other places in India.
Sure.
Who reject that. So how do you live that out, or how would you? I know that, we haven't covered your story yet, but when did you leave India? And did you find that to be a conflict?
Living in India, there is conflict. Okay. Living in India, again, Guru Nanak Dev Ji, when he said the word, how can you look down upon a woman who gives birth to a man? Mm-hmm. He saw that, he said that not because there was equality at that time in the community. Right. If there would have been equality in the community, if women were respected, he didn't have to say this. Mm-hmm. So the caste system was there. It is still continuing in majority of the country. But for a Sikh who is believer in one creator, creating one creation, this is not to be. We cannot do that. So as a Sikh, we do not believe we believe in equality of man and woman.
Yeah.
We believe in equality of people born in every caste, every color, every size, because that is creation's creator, creator's creation.
So if if I'm a person who's invested in my culture in India and in the caste system, and I see a group of people who reject that caste system, am I going to want to do things to get rid of those people or get them out of India?
Exactly. That is, it is, let's say if one believes that my religion is better than yours, and if you're not in my religion, you are a kafir,
Yeah.
Then certainly you would want to, and as a kafir, you could be killed. I don't want to get into that discussion, but as a matter of fact, our fifth guru, because of these teachings, was, I won't say, he was roasted alive.
Oh my.
He was made to sit on hot plate and hot sand over his head, and he was roasted. Because he was a saintly man, his throat could not be cut by religious restrictions, so he could be roasted.
Okay.
Because of think about it, how radical it would be, and this is to your point, I wasn't wanting to get into that, but you brought up a real issue that if there is a community, if people around you do not believe in that and you come up with a radical thought, it's unacceptable.
Right. I don't want my children influenced by your children and
Exactly.
your beliefs.
So
Sure.
if I get rid of you, there won't be your children anymore. Right. So I'm better off eliminating you, so my children do not have to worry about it.
Right.
You're getting into a serious discussion.
Well,
but that's exactly how the story went of our religion.
Now, you called this person who was roasted alive the fifth guru.
Guru Arjan Dev Ji.
So even though you say there's no leadership or hierarchy, apparently there is some figurehead, some leader that's passed on as as one dies.
Okay, good point.
Another one replaces them.
Good point. Let me get to that.
Okay.
Guru Nanak Dev Ji, the founder of the religion, who created the concept of Ek Onkar, or who was revealed that there is one God, one creator, he was born in 1469. Mm-hmm. Then, before his death, he chose Guru Angad Dev Ji to be the second Guru. And then third, fourth, and fifth, sixth, seventh, eighth, ninth, 10th. There were 10 Gurus, 10th Guru. Some were appointed, and I can actually come to that, and who was appointed, who was born in the family. Fourth, like ninth Guru and 10th Guru was son of ninth Guru. But Guru Nanak Dev Ji made sure that it is not the blood relationship, but it is the ability to choose the Guru. So Guru Nanak Dev Ji did not choose his children to be the Guru, but he chose the capable person who he felt would carry the Guruship properly to be the Guru. So at 10th Guru, I was going to come to that, but at 10th Guru, he decided that this is, we are going to have the word of God as Guru, and there will be no human Guru. So Guru Gobind Singh Ji, our 10th Guru, he passed on in 1708. And since then, we have not had any living Gurus.
Okay.
Since then, Guru Granth Sahib, our holy book, is our Guru. And everyone else is either preacher, caretaker, promoter, which are wise people who translate well, can make people understand.
Okay. I got it.
So that guruship.
Mm-hmm.
So Guru Nanak Dev Ji, in 1469, he was born in Hindu family. He saw certain practices, religious rites that he did not believe in or didn't make sense to him. So he kind of rejected those and started to share his own concepts. He came up with the revelation of one creator. His thoughts and speeches were so profound that people wanted to listen to him more and more, even when he was young. So he was recognized as guru right at that age, and people became followers. And I gave you the story of fifth guru because when concepts like that come, there are people who oppose it. Guru Gobind Singh Ji, our 10th guru, was born in 1666. He realized, because of this conflict by those who were not Sikh, and they tried to, as you said, fifth guru was burnt alive, ninth guru was assassinated because Muslims said that we are going to finish Hindus, and Kashmiri Brahmins said, the Mughal ruler said that if you have one person who you bring as a leader, if he doesn't get converted, we will not convert you, but if he gets converted, you all will be converted. So they said, where do we find such a brave person? They come to our ninth guru, Guru Tegh Bahadur. He offers himself. He was tortured, assassinated. So when our 10th guru, at young age of 9 or 11, he sees this thing happening. He said, I need to instill bravery in the Sikhs. We cannot just be recipient. We cannot just be kind-hearted and giving and all those nice things, but we should be able to protect ourselves too. So he created Khalsa, Sant Sipahi, saint soldiers. So how he did it was that to preserve the culture, Guru Gobind Singh Ji called a meeting. It was a big gathering of his followers. At the gathering, where thousands were present, he asked for people who are willing to give their head, who are willing to die for the cause and the principles that he has set forth. So one after one, 5 people came, and then, so he chose, many came, but he chose first 5 and called them Panj Pyare, 5 beloved ones. So now this is where we pay attention to Sikh formation, Sikh religion. The 5 chosen ones, he renamed them, gave them new name. The names were Daya Singh, Dharam Singh, Himmat Singh, Mokham Singh, and Sahib Singh. So the 5 words, Daya, Dharam, Himmat, Mokham, and Sahib, were the names. Singh was the last name given to each one to eliminate the caste system. So now they are all belonging to Singh family, if you will, and in Sikh faith. And Daya means compassion. Dharam means virtuous discipline. Himmat means strength and courage. Mokham means resolve and determination. And Sahib represents graceful, crowning royal leadership. So, if we go by the sequence, which is important, first is Daya, means we must have compassion. That's the base of it. Then we should have our own virtuous discipline to protect that compassion and virtuous discipline and that kind of a habit. We should have a strength and courage to guard our good qualities. Then we should have the resolve and determination. And then we should, only then we will become the graceful citizens, royal leaders, whatever you want to call it. So, thus he started the special group with these qualities, these virtues, and they called them, they were saint soldiers. They were saints first, and then to protect their sainthood, they had to have strength and resolve, so soldiership. So, these names, through these names, Guru Gobind Singh instilled these qualities, if you will, in every Sikh.
Now, your last name is Singh.
Yes.
So, is that a lineage from this group of five, or
No.
where?
Not that five. At that time, after five, there were many others who followed and became Sikh.
Okay.
So there were thousands. So even now, people from different faith can come and join Sikh religion, if you will. So it is not the blood lineage, it is the lineage of the values, if you will, that creates the Sikh.
Okay.
So, Bob, you had asked me earlier in the conversation, Sikhs wear turban or don't they, or when they should, when they can't.
Because when I did some research, it said that's the one thing that all Sikhs must do. They must wear the turban.
Correct.
Or is it just all male Sikhs?
All male Sikhs wear turban.
Yeah.
But all female Sikhs also cover their head.
Okay.
So Sikh identity. So here, if we go back to history, ninth Guru, when he was being assassinated, being tortured, Sikhs, there may be many present, they did not come forward to protect, or they could hide, or they could then, being afraid, can blend in with the crowd, if you will.
Yeah, Christianity had that issue when Jesus
Yeah,
got crucified. Sure.
All of that. So
Yeah.
it's human nature. So it is. There is one creator, one type of behavior. So we need, without the training, that's how we do. So how did the training start here? At Guru Gobind Singh Ji, after giving these 5 virtues or qualities, he said, I need my Sikhs to be identified. So Sikh identity, there are 5 Ks, we call Kesh, Kangha, Kada, Kachera, and Kirpan, and I'll come to that. Kesh means untrimmed hair, not altering your appearance, keeping it as the Creator wanted you to be. So, hair all body hair. I don't have it. That doesn't make me any good. I have essentially that means I'm not following. I'll not be giving any excuses that it is okay to not follow. Nobody has told me that it is okay to not follow. Guru Gobind Singh Ji said, you must have these 5Ks, and I'm not doing it.
So you shave your
I shave.
your facial hair.
I was full hair bearing, turban bearing Sikh until I came to United States. And in about a year and a half, to blend in, if you will, I shaved my hair.
So when was that?
1973.
Okay.
74. So Kesh Kangha is a wooden comb that is used to keep hair clean. Now that symbolizes keeping your own character clean as well. Not just the body clean, not just the appearance clean, but your work, your actions, everything. Kada is a round steel ring. Here again, I had kada up until last year in my right hand, and to get my MRI done, they said we have to remove the metal. So this was so short that I had to use soap water to slip it off, and I have not put it on yet. So I will come back and go back and do it. Kada is a round steel ring worn in the right wrist. This is a constant reminder that you are dedicated to the Creator. It is just like cuff, if you will, handcuff, that I've been handcuffed by the Creator. So I have to live the virtues of the Creator that have been instilled in me. Okay. That is kada. Kachera is a underwear for decency and chastity. It wasn't worn there then all the time. For a Sikh, it is compulsory. And kirpan is a sword that is carried for self-defense and protection of others.
Where is your sword?
I do not have my sword.
Okay.
I have sword in my courage, if you will. I want to make sure that nobody has the guts, if you will, or I'm strong enough to not fall from my character, if you will. I do not have a need for a physical sword here in America, but definitely there are distractions that I need to be aware of and have discipline, have courage to defend myself. That is the Sikh identity that you talked about. So, what is Sikhism? What is Sikh way of life? I would say that if I keep the Creator in my heart and my daily activity is guided by the virtues of the Creator, then I do not have any expectation of outcome, because I'm doing what I'm supposed to be doing. So I have no expectation of result. I have no expectation from anybody else.
Now that's something that I find that's pretty easy to say, but very difficult to do, to live without expectation. But because you grew up that way, maybe it's easier for you. I don't know. Do you find that difficult?
Of course, I'm human, so I do find it difficult. However, the lesson that, or the teaching that has been given to me that I have to learn and live by, and we say it every day, is we fold our hands, say, Tera bhana meetha lage, naam padarat nanak mange. Tera, your decision, your action is sweet to me. That is what all I ask for is your blessing. Naam padarth nanak mange, tera bhana mitha lage. So, am I really able to do that? If I'm not, I'm still striving to that. So, if there is something that I'm not satisfied with, I do not have it, I may feel a little uptight that I worked very hard, I didn't get this. However, my goal is to be accepting the result of his gift, accepting his gifts, basically.
Because he knows better than you what the outcome should be.
Should be.
Okay.
Very well said. Very.
Okay.
What am I supposed to do is I need to be a karta purkh. I need to be a doer, a responsible steward of the creation. My actions should not pollute water, air. My actions should not hurt others or anything in the creation. That is when I'm doing my job. So that means I need to be kind, merciful, giving, considerate, and thoughtful.
Now, I'm very curious about this because I've never been to India, but I have a picture, and I'm not even sure but I think this is Hindu, that they do not even step on an ant or swat a fly or kill a mosquito because of their belief that this is part of creation and I am not to destroy any part of creation. So when you say that is also your belief, does it go to that level of being careful not to even step on an ant, say?
For that religion, let me add that they even wear a mask so that the living being they cannot breathe.
Mm-hmm.
No, we do not go that far.
Okay.
We do not go that far, but we need to be kind, merciful, giving, considerate, and then to be contributing, we need to have drive, moxie, vigor, courage, and determination so that we can do the right things. And my action should be governed by self-respect and self-worth and by Creator's virtues. Period. So, we live like Khalsa, the pure one, the beloved ones. Our needs should be such that we are the beloved. We should not fall from that standard, if you will, as a Sikh. In summary, as a creation of the Creator, inspired by the presence of Creator within us, we need to have kinship with everyone and everything around us. With that, I will say, Nanak Naam Chardi Kala, Tere Bhane Sarbat Ka Bhala. That is our prayer. That with your grace, God, with your mercy, let everyone be happy.
So a question that I have is, do you have children?
I have 2 children.
And may I ask their ages?
My daughter is 55. My son is 51.
Okay.
And they each have 2 children, so I have 4 grandchildren.
Okay, so I'm thinking of you came over in 1973, 74. So you had your children before coming to America.
Yes, yes. I came in 1972. Both my children were born in India, older daughter, younger son.
And they were raised as Sikh.
They were raised there during that brief period as Sikhs.
Okay. So I'm thinking about the adaptation issues
Yes,
that any person would go through, not only for them but now for your grandchildren.
yes.
Uh, so how is that working out?
They are being raised Americans with Sikh values. Yes, definitely. Definitely. They are as American as it gets. They are married Americans. Both my children have married Americans. So call it blended
Okay.
family, but because of me, we are trying to instill as much values. So again, as I said earlier, Sikhism is a way of life. As I see it in the Rotary activities. I see it in my company. Our company, Logix Guru, is an IT consulting company. And we live our life we run our company with that kind of a conviction infused. The values we have are think logically, contribute your best to the creation, if you will. Uh, uh, be honest, be authentic, be competent, be determined. We make sure, actually, I am the one who interviews everyone last. All employees, I talk to them. And we do talk about, I won't call it spirituality, but the value system. If you are not honest to your own family, how can you be honest to my customer? If you do, if work is your higher priority than your family, your priority will change pretty quickly. So is your family your first priority? So in our office, if anyone has any family issues, go. You don't have to tell me that you're going if I'm not there. Family comes first.
So how many employees do you have?
We have 105 team members. Yes.
Okay. When we first had our discussion about the possibility of you doing this podcast,
Yeah.
you gave me an example of how those values play out in the workplace. Now, I'm not sure if you recall that example, but just
I don't recall.
Just
tell
to
me, tell me that. And,
to refresh your memory.
yeah.
You were away, I think maybe in India, and the person in charge of sales, I believe it was asking you to sign a contract with a company whose values conflicted with your corporate values.
Yes. I remember.
Do you recall that?
Yes, I remember
Okay.
it very vividly, very vividly. So we are in IT consulting. We do software development. We do it by staffing. There are multiple ways of doing it. We get the job order, we do it. If a project scope can be defined, we take on that project as such. If we are talking about this concept of one creator and serving the creation, we want to make sure that our actions are actually serving the creation. So we will work with companies like UPMC or US Steel or FNB, those who are actually serving the humanity in one way or the other, someone by making steel, someone healthcare, someone in finance. But if we see that someone is doing things that are gambling or things like that, which in my opinion is not community service, we do not want to be part of it. I'm not stopping them, but I do not want to be part of it.
Yeah.
So we are extremely cautious about it. And by the same token, when we are working with any company, the companies that we work with, we want to make sure that the value system, we want to enhance their commitment as well. Because they have, you think I have faith, there are people who have much stronger faith in community service than I do. I mean, there are so many inspired people. I learned from, as a Sikh, as a student, I learned from my own customers, their dedication, my teamwork, team members.
Yeah.
So, I won't put it on pedestal. The world is full of
Yeah. Sure.
people who are committed to doing good deeds, and they inspired me.
So let's get back now to daily life and weekly life. When I think of Muslims, I think of prayer mats and praying 5 to 7 times a day. When I think of Christians, going to church on Sundays. So if I would want to think of a Sikh, how should I picture your prayer life and your following, your rituals, that sort of thing?
Okay.
How do you live that out?
Very, very good question, and difficult to answer for me. But if I split it in two aspects, it is very easy.
Okay.
The first aspect is non-ritual, and the instruction to me, and that's what we follow, is Saans Saans Simro Gobind. Meaning with every breath, every action that you take, anything, every time, you are in tune with the Creator.
Okay.
So that to me is more important than coming to the ritual part. We are instructed to get up early before sunrise, bhalke, that is early morning, and start with meditation, so that you have internalized the Creator in you, and your actions are controlled accordingly. So morning prayers, we actually, at our home, we have Holy Book. So ritual-wise, in the morning, I will get ready sooner than she does, my wife does. So I'll start reading, opening of the Holy Book and reciting certain pages and internalizing it, meditating over it, see what is the instruction for me for the day. Noontime, we do prayers, and then in the evening, we do prayers.
And are these specific prayers that are in the Holy Book?
Yes. There are specific more for morning, during daytime, and then at night.
Okay. So is there a building, a temple of some sort that Sikhs go to?
Yes.
For ceremonies and for weddings and funerals and all of that?
Good question. I should have said anyhow that we call Gurudwara, Sikh Gurudwara. The address is 4407 Mackenzie Drive. It is in Monroeville. Everyone is welcome. Nobody needs invitation. If you want to share my phone number or email with anyone who wants to come, by all means. I am also one of the designated drivers for my for my Gurudwara. That if someone wants a ride to come to Gurudwara and then go back home, I'll be happy to pick up and drop. We meet on Sundays at about noon. Services start with hymns sung by our priest, by Sucha Singh. He is one of the very learned professionals in this field. Our congregation ends with lunch, which is always only vegetarian lunch, and that ends at about 2:30.
So are all Sikhs vegetarian?
No. Sikhs do not have to be vegetarian. Again, when martial spirit came, with that came being non-vegetarian. However, to keep uniformity at Gurudwara so that everyone can sit together and eat together and share together, a vegetarian food is acceptable by everyone. Therefore, the meal served at Gurudwara, any Gurudwara throughout the world, is always vegetarian.
Okay. I'm just about exhausted my questions.
Okay, very good. Thank you very much. In that case, I would say Vaheguru Ji Ka Khalsa, Vaheguru Ji Ki Fateh.
Well, before we go,
Yeah.
at the end of every podcast, and you said you listened to some, so I always ask this question: are there some words of wisdom, or just, they don't have to be extremely wise words, but words you would like to leave with our audience?
Yes. I would say that we did talk about way of life, Sikh way of life, and if we just leave it as Sikh way of life and not as a conversion to Sikhism, please do adopt some of the habits that Sikhs do, that is of sharing, caring, doing the right things, using your conscience, that sort of thing. There is no hard and fast rule. Just do your very best. That's all I would say.
So be the best you can be.
Be the best you can be. Do not undersell yourself. Have pride. Do the things that you as a proud person will do. Do the thing that you will develop respect for the person in the mirror.
So I know that some people say, think about what's going to be said at your funeral and make sure that what's said at your funeral is what you would like to have said at your funeral, and live into that.
Bob, I have heard that, but the fact is that at funeral nobody says the truth. But along those lines, my words are: if you were to tell the truth and you were watching your own funeral, what would you say?
Okay.
While other people are saying good things about you, you are knowing what you have done
Yeah.
What is that?
Right.
So if we are conscious of that, that's truth. That is definition of creator,
Yeah.
the truth. Ek Onkar Satnam. Sat is truth. So it just be yourself. Whoever you want to be, you can be. It's so easy. That's why I don't bring the word spirit in that context. Very simple relationship with yourself. Begin to respect yourself. If you want to be honorable, then you will be honorable. If you want to be mediocre, you will become mediocre.
Yeah. Well, thank you so much for visiting with us today. I appreciate your being here. It's been a real education.
Likewise, Bob. Thank you for inviting me. Thanks for giving me the opportunity to share the thoughts about Sikh. I'm sure I may have missed some things. If there is any question that comes to mind later on, give me a buzz and we can chat about it. Or in closing, I will say that I would like to invite each and every one of the listeners who wants to come to Gurdwara to please come. There is no invitation or prior notice required, but if you want to call me, I'll make sure that I'm there and we pay special attention and find time with the priest, so where you will get most value.
Well, be careful because this podcast right now is in 18 countries and 30 states.
Okay.
So not everybody everybody lives real close, and if you have to drive to pick them up to bring them here, it may be a long drive.
Well, I can arrange Zoom meeting for them.
Okay.
We can plan that way.
Okay, that sounds good.
Thank you, sir.
So as always, audience, take what resonates with you, think about it, incorporate it into your lifestyle, and just discard the rest, whatever doesn't work. Until next time, this has been your spiritual journey.